Hey guys, welcome back to the Girlfriends and Goals podcast YouTube channel. My name is Samaria, and I'm joined by my best friend and co-host Miosha. And today we are doing another Am I the A-hole reaction video, but since it's Valentine's Day, these ones are couple related. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course meet us in the comments to let us know what you think about these scenarios. All right, let's hop into the first one.
All right. Am I the a-hole for questioning if my husband gave me a fake Gucci bag? Since I met my husband, he has always gifted me expensive things. My husband has a job that pays him a good amount of money. Over the years, I would tell him that he doesn't have to keep buying me expensive gifts because we both have expenses such as a mortgage and other bills. I also gift him expensive presents that I save up to buy for him. A few weeks ago, we welcomed a beautiful baby boy. My husband, a few days ago, before I had him, gave me a push gift. It was a huge Gucci bag, and inside was a Gucci tote bag. It was a very lovely bag. He said the reason he got me that huge Gucci tote bag was because I need a big bag to carry around so that I can put all the baby's things inside when I travel with him. I gave my husband a huge hug and thanked him. The gift to me was too much, but he kept insisting that he appreciates me and is excited for the journey we will both experience, and that he saw how miserable I was mentally and emotionally during my pregnancy. The next day, while my husband was at work, I took the bag out of the box and placed it on a shelf next to my other bags. As I held the bag, something felt off. I noticed that the material of the bag was different. The inside of the bag looked a little off, and the handles of the bag felt like very bad quality, to the point that if I placed too many things in the bag, I'm sure it would tear. The bag also smelled different. It didn't smell like leather to me. I quickly went to the Gucci website and looked for the bag. The bag was on there, but as I compared both bags, I came to the conclusion that the bag was fake. I still tried to give him the benefit of the doubt by looking for an older version, but everything still points to the bag being fake. I began to wonder why he would buy me a fake bag. He didn't have to get me anything expensive. I made it very clear to him multiple times. Later that night, when he came home, I asked him where did he get the bag. At first, he said the actual Gucci store. I kept asking him if he was sure a couple times. He then told me no, it was eBay. He said he got it for a really good deal. I told him the bag was fake and that he should try and get his money back. He angrily said that he was offended and that eBay authenticated the bag, and how dare I call the bag fake. I showed him the pictures and he was just even more mad and called me ungrateful. I even compared it to another Gucci bag that I have and showed him how the material is different. I also explained to him that if he paid a lot of money for the bag thinking it was real, that he got scammed and he should get a refund. He paused for a second and took a look at the bag. He keeps calling me ungrateful. So am I the a-hole because I keep questioning if the bag is fake?
I don't think she's the a-hole. I think she came towards it with pure intentions. Like it wasn't a thing of you got me this fake bag. It was, oh no, like I know you get me nice things all the time and I appreciate it even though you don't have to, but I think someone scammed you. Like she was more concerned about him being scammed than she was about having a Gucci bag. So I definitely don't think she's an a-hole. Unfortunately, her husband took it the opposite way and thinks that she's being ungrateful, but I don't get that at all.
Like his frustrations are in the wrong place. I,
Yeah.
I think when she went to him and said, "Oh, I think the bag is fake," I think he took maybe her as being accusatory of
Him.
you got me this fake bag,
Mhm.
and not just it on face value of no, the bag is just fake. I think we got
Right, exactly.
And so I think maybe the timing of it, "Oh, I give you this bag. It's been a day." In her defense, you should quickly call it out, I guess, to try to get a refund.
Mhm.
But I think he was maybe feeling defensive because he felt like, "Oh, I really did a big thing for her,
I did my big one.
and you got." Yeah, I don't think she's the a-hole. And if anything, it's like she told you not to buy expensive things. Listen.
He got his
Yeah.
little feelings hurt. He was being a little sensitive. He needs to apologize.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
because he took it the wrong way.
yeah, he feels away. Yeah, someone says, yeah, you're not the a-hole. You were obviously more worried about your husband getting ripped off than you were about receiving an authentic bag. Hopefully he'll
Mhm.
calm down and see you're simply concerned, not ungrateful. Um, Interesting though that that's his first response. Defensive
Like,
or not.
you know you got this off eBay, like, what?
And why lie about it? He should have said eBay first, and that's where I don't know.
I'm already creating stories in my head like, okay, maybe there's some financial issue and he can't afford the Gucci store the way he once could. And so he's already feeling like inadequate. But I don't know. These people didn't tell us that in this little prompt. I'm just trying to, I got my Tyler Perry hat on, creating scenarios by myself with no checks and balances. But yeah,
And I would say, now that you've told him that the bag is fake, he may, I think I would just get on the same page about, okay, are you expecting me to carry it? He wants you to have this bag for carrying the baby stuff and yada, yada, yada. Just get on the same page about that.
absolutely.
Yeah. Y'all let us know what y'all think. I don't think she's the a hole. And hmm,
It'll be
I
interesting.
feel like it's a known thing that eBay, like not even just bags, any like collectible items or,
Gotta be careful.
yeah, you have to be careful. So,
'Cause everything isn't as picture. I wonder how old they are. They didn't say their ages, but
mm-mm.
um,
Well, they're in the age of having kids.
well,
So,
she,
oh, she
because
is. Yeah.
he, yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't know what that's like,
Mhm.
but it'll be interesting to see what the people on Shorts say when we put this up, because that gives us a whole other set of.
I know.
It'll be interesting. They're gonna come in there like she is ungrateful. She's the
I
a.
know, right?
All right. So
Mm,
we'll go into the next one.
mhm.
This one says, am I the a hole for not cooking for my husband every time I cook for myself? I have been married for 10 years. I do 95% of the cooking and also the majority of organizing the takeout meals. My husband loves to eat but doesn't like to cook. He also has trouble deciding what he wants to eat, which means the burden falls to me to pick the place. I am good at cooking and mostly like it, but sometimes I get tired and just don't want to. For the most part, we like a lot of the same foods, but there are a few foods I love that he doesn't eat. So I can only have those foods if we go out and the restaurant has those options. I go out by myself. I cook for myself when he is not home, or I cook extra dishes so we both can have what we want at home. So I mostly just cook only the items he wants that I will also eat. Sometimes this irritates me because sometimes I just crave something I know he doesn't want. But my husband expects that if I go into the kitchen to cook something, no matter how small, I should offer to also cook for him. But since he very rarely cooks, this means every time he's home, I cook for both of us or not at all. I have seen him literally sit on the couch eating snacks all day without cooking what I consider a real meal. But if I go in that kitchen, he expects me to ask if he wants something. This puts me in a position that feels awkward. Sometimes I'm going in there to cook something small the way I want without changing it to accommodate him. I just want X dish the way I like it. If I've got to include him, it gets more involved and takes longer. I do this most of the time. Do I have to do it all the time? My husband thinks so. He thinks it's rude for me to prepare something without first asking him if I want something. I guess if he wants something. The other week he was home on vacation, but I had to work remote. I got up a little late one day and had to hurry to be online on time. I'm rushing to shower and get ready. I run into the kitchen to get coffee and make eggs with leftover rice. He had gotten coffee earlier, but not something to eat, and sits down to relax. I get my food and head to the home office. Later, I notice he's upset, and when I ask why, and he asks what I ate for breakfast, I quickly get it that he's mad that I didn't make him breakfast. I was rushing around and was concerned with getting online on time. And I don't even recall if he's ever eaten eggs and rice when I've offered, so I figured he would get his own breakfast at some point. Am I the a hole?
Absolutely not. And it sounds like, at least in regards to sustenance meals inside and outside of the home, your husband expects you to take on this role of carrying the full load.
Mm,
And I think that's an unrealistic expectation. And it sounds like you feel like it's unrealistic.
right. Forget what
And
we
so,
think.
yeah, I think you need to lay out how you'd like for things to go forward, because
Mhm.
it was kind of sad to hear how you can only eat certain things maybe when you go out because you don't
Yeah,
want to be tasked with cooking multiple things, or always having to make tweaks here and there. Now, I do understand within a household, there are certain responsibilities, where a certain person may take the lead on. Okay, if you're better at cooking,
yeah,
then you may take the lead on it. Or if you're better at organizing, you do that. But I think when it comes to meals, because this is something you have to do every day, multiple times a day,
yeah,
I do think that as an adult, it's unrealistic to expect that someone else is going to do that for you 100% of the time.
yeah.
And so, yeah, you're not the a-hole, and I think you need to lay some things out. Also, another thing, you
Mhm.
mentioned something about how your husband got up, went to the kitchen, got his coffee, sat back down, and then other times you would just notice him snacking all day.
Mm.
So, it sounds as though there may be a bit of, not willful ignorance, but he's just opting out. Like, if he has to sustain himself, he'll just eat snacks. It's
Yeah,
almost like he's trying to wait you out knowing, "Oh, you'll be in here to fix something at 12, which is lunch,
yeah.
and Imma just, like, snack to hold me over. Oh, and since you're already in there, my expectation is you just gonna do it." So if he can wait you out long enough
Yeah.
for every meal, then all his meals are prepared.
I think it was sad, the whole breakfast thing. So I I understand, okay, like, lunch even or dinner, but there ought to be things in this house that you can eat for breakfast. Like, I don't have to make every single meal. For breakfast, you can make you a PB&J, you can have some cereal. Like,
A bagel.
why do I have to plan your every meal? You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a little bit inconsiderate of her. And then like the takeout meal sheet, like, if you are the one who's in charge of that, I understand it, but nobody wants to have to do everything 100% of the time. Um, and it doesn't even sound like she has an issue cooking for him or any of that. It's just, okay, sometimes I just want a little thing. Like, I remember one of my coworkers was like, sometimes when she comes home, when she's coming home from work, she'll stop at like Chick-fil-A, eat her Chick-fil-A meal, and when she pulls up to the garage, she'll throw her Chick-fil-A stuff in the trash
Mhm.
so that her kids won't even know that she had Chick-fil-A. Because sometimes you just want something for you without having to worry about what everybody else needs or what everybody else wants, or do they want some, or do they, like, sometimes you just need that time and space for you. And so I don't think she's the a-hole. I think all of this is reasonable, and he gotta tweak something.
And he's taking, I think, a concept, that is common and manipulating it
Yeah.
against her. And what I mean by that is, I think it's fair to say, like, oh, like, imagine if Samira's visiting, or even if we were living together, right?
Yeah.
It's around dinner time. Say we're roommates. I may go in there, I may be like, oh, what do you feel like eating?
Mhm.
That's a common thing to ask the people around you, or to assume, like, oh, well, I'm already in here, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But he's flipping it and making it seem like, oh, you're being so selfish, and you're not being a good wife because you don't do it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So I think he's taking this concept of, it's courteous to ask the people who are there, or it would be odd for me to go in the kitchen, fix me a bowl of fruit, and yeah, yeah, it's acceptable. Yeah, you get another bowl of fruit. Oh, Samira wants some, right? Like, that's a common thing, but this idea that your wife is going to fix and plate all your meals
Yeah.
is completely unrealistic. On top of the fact that I think, if you look at household responsibilities, I think meals, meal planning, prepping, I think that's one of the most labor intensive things
Mm.
because this is something you're doing every day, multiple times a day.
And also,
It's
yeah,
unless you're eating out a lot, you know.
and that's the thing. So the second example, he was on vacation and she had to go into work still. And so I'm like, oh, that would have been a nice opportunity to say, hey, I know you work and you make sure all our meals are good. Let me go out and grab us some Panera. I don't know, like something thoughtful. Because you're on a vacation while she's working, just to make her load a little easier because she does that for you often. Like, and I get it, because if I wanted to eat spicy food and
Mhm.
my partner doesn't like spicy food, like every now and then I just want to put as much pepper in the stuff as I want, without being like, oh, I can't put this much, or I gotta add my pepper on the side, or I gotta, like, I get where she's coming from completely. And so I hope that he's receptive. I hope she speaks up on it, and I hope that he's receptive when she does.
I know. Yeah, and maybe even let him know ahead of time, like, "Hey, it's Saturday, I have a taste, I'm gonna make X." Like, it's a every man Saturdays is every man for themselves.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, like, once I got to a certain age, mom would be like, "Alright, Friday evenings, every man for themselves. Y'all figure it out," you
Yeah.
know? And I think that's reasonable even with teenagers. It's like, "Okay, I've been cooking all week. Y'all could figure it out for one meal." And that gives mom a break.
It's enough stuff in the pantry, in the refrigerator, like,
You better get them
create
chicken
something.
nuggets in the freezer.
Right. Okay. Create something. I don't care.
Mhm.
Experiment. Have a blast. But I know who will not be in that kitchen. And
Yeah.
that's, but yeah, these are our thoughts on these scenarios. Of course, you guys let us know in the comments what you think. And we will see you guys on the next one. Oh, also, since this is coming out on Valentine's Day,
Mhm.
Love is Blind
Oh,
is coming
yeah.
out today. So y'all make sure you watch it. We'll have our review up at the end of the weekend.
Mhm.
So go ahead and watch it so you can follow along with us and chat with us in the comments about that, this season of that show. All right.
Right.
Now we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.